Hi everyone, I'm Ethan Cannistra Show. Thank you so much for visiting my YouTube channel today. This is just a show where I talk about a bunch of items in the world of movie news and give my own opinions on it. So the first thing that I wanted to talk about today was that Star Wars The Last Jedi has now made $45 million, at least on its Thursday opening. This now makes it the second most profitable Thursday opening in film history, and it's only behind Star Wars The Force Awakens. Now, I think this is a very important story for a number of reasons, one of which this definitely shows that Star Wars The Last Jedi is not going to be surpassing Star Wars The Force Awakens. I think it's going to come close. It's definitely going to cross 200 million, but I just don't see a possibility in Star Wars The Last Jedi becoming the all-time domestic box office. It's going to be really close. It made $45 million on Thursday. It's definitely going to make over 200 million. I would put my estimate at around $220 million for opening weekend in the United States. But I don't think it's going to come anywhere close to beating Star Wars Force Awakens. I think that there were just too many circumstances surrounding The Force Awakens that allowed it to make so much money. You had the first Star Wars movie that had come out in like 12 years. You had Han Solo coming back. You had Chewbacca coming back. You had Luke coming back. You had all these characters coming back that a lot of people grew up with. So I just think that there are all these circumstances surrounding The Force Awakens that allowed it to be this really big domestic opening. And I just think that The Last Jedi might be close around 220, but I just don't think it's going to beat it. Okay, so the second topic that I wanted to talk about this week was the first poster for Ocean's 8. So quite honestly, the only reason I wanted to talk about this, quite honestly, was to give my own opinions about Ocean's 8. Because I honestly am not a big fan of Ocean's 8 and this idea, just because why do we have to have all these old properties being rebooted with a female cast? I just find it so unnecessary. Look, I understand that there's a sore lack of diversity in Hollywood, but if you want to expand Hollywood and make it more diverse, why do you have to reboot all these old properties with women? Why don't you just make all these new properties with bigger budgets and add women into them? I just find that really unnecessary. So Ocean's 8, yeah, it has a great cast in it, but I'm just really not excited for this. Yeah, we had Ocean's 11. It's a great movie. I don't think anyone's really asking for a sequel at all, let alone with an all-female cast. I'd rather see this really great cast in another big budget movie. So anyways, that's my opinion on that. Second story that I wanted to talk about was Bob Iger weighing in, pretty much saying that Deadpool does have a place in Disney for being rated R. And quite honestly, I don't buy this story for a couple of reasons. One of which, I think Disney is too protective of their MCU to be making an R-rated movie. I see no possibility in an R-rated Deadpool movie. Quite honestly, I believe Bob Iger saying he'll think about it, but I don't think it's going to come to fruition or anything. I don't think you're ever going to see that happen, at least within the next 10 years. I understand how profitable Deadpool is, and I think Disney would be stupid to not make an R-rated movie. I can't see it happening. Disney is far too protective of their MCU. They like their formula. They know it works for them, and it makes them money. So while Bob Iger is saying that they'll do it, I would give it, quite honestly, a 30% chance that happens. I think there's definitely a chance that there's an R-rated Deadpool movie within the next 5 or so years. But if I had to put money on it, I would honestly say that I don't think this is going to happen. But I also thought this would be a cool opportunity to think about what I think is going to happen with this Disney and Fox merger with the X-Men. So I thought I would give my own predictions about what I think, or what characters are going to be in this new shared cinematic universe with the X-Men. So I think without a doubt you're going to get Charles Xavier in that X-Men movie whenever Marvel and Disney decide to reboot the X-Men. And then I think you're going to see a couple of key characters show up. I think you're definitely going to get Magneto. And then for the main X-Men, I think Cyclops, Storm, Jean Grey, and maybe Rogue. I think you're going to get those 4 or 5 X-Men in the first X-Men movie. And then from there, you're going to see that X-Men expand in the MCU and continue to add more characters. I don't think you're going to see a Wolverine appear in the first X-Men movie within the MCU. I think that takes away from the ending of Logan that happened this year. So I think you'll definitely see a Logan within the MCU, but you might have to wait 5 or 6 years until after the first X-Men movie comes out. Maybe in the post-credits scene within the first X-Men movie, but definitely in the second MCU X-Men movie. Anyways, guys, that's all for today. If you like what you saw, please like and subscribe for more. And until next time, goodbye.